Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is E from the Easy Entrepreneur YouTube channel. You know I flip diabetic supplies full time. All right, guys. And this video is about, is the diabetic test strip business saturated? Now, there has been an influx of people that's came into the business. You know, obviously someone like me, I came into business September 2020. So I've been in business for about 2.5 years. And I, since then I've seen, probably, 1 to 3 new people come in a day since then. But at this point, being in the business for 2.5 years, I've seen people come and go. You know what I mean? And I think that, that's just as far as how business works when people are trying to, become entrepreneurs. They get excited, they get shiny object syndrome, so they jump in, and then they might not even do anything, right? Or they tried a little bit and, they made money, but maybe, the work was harder than what they thought. And that has nothing to do with this business. Just in general, I think people have a false sense of reality when it comes to businesses, running businesses. They want to automate. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. It's so funny because I'm on the phone, I've been on hundreds of phone calls with people looking to get into this business. And some of the common things is always, I want to automate this. I want to automate this. More so thinking like, let's get this thing up and running, and then we'll explore automating it later. Because in any business, you're gonna have to jump in and do some things yourself, unless you have a large sum of money that you can go and just automate things from the beginning and then be in the red, and then eventually, you're making money and you're out of the red. So if you have funds like that, sure, go ahead and jump in and automate stuff. But for the most part, I see people always say they want to automate this, that, and the third. So a lot of times people give up because, they don't want to do any work. And this has nothing to do with this business. That's just with entrepreneurship in general. And like, with my channel, this channel here, I'm going to be talking about diabetic test strips all the time. But I'm going to be moving more so towards the, psychological humps that people are having when it comes to businesses, how to run an actual business and stuff like that. And those things apply to every business. The skills and stuff that you need, the mindset you need applies to every business, because psychologically, I'm seeing it across the board. Everybody has this way of looking at things. Everyone has this certain way of doing things, and they don't understand that the people, the movers and shakers in life, in entrepreneurship, and this business, they all are putting in work, right? I could say that this business is 10 times easier to put in the work than any other business. But in general, I'm seeing the same reoccurrence with the mindset of people. But anyways, that's why people jump into things and they have this false sense of reality when it comes to entrepreneurship, and then they give up. So, is it saturated? I wouldn't say it's saturated. I'm in a major city, and not too much competition at all, really. At one point there was some, and we would go back and forth and stuff like that. We both were making our money though, and then they shortly, they started to fizzle out and stuff like that. Another thing though, what you gotta really analyze is this, and this is what I help people. I help people break down, things like this, and simplify things for people, and looking at things at a deeper level. Everybody has their own level of ambition. So you can have competition, but this person might be doing lesser of the marketing that you're doing. This person might not want to go out and go and pick up certain supplies like you are going to, and that you're willing to go do and go get. This person might not be on time, or right, same thing as picking up supplies, but they're not on time, or they're not answering phone calls as often as you do, answering text messages as good as you do. As fast as you do. Their customer service is nowhere near as good as yours, right? they don't take the business as seriously as you. They might take it as a hobby. You might take it as, I'm trying to take this thing to the top. So you're gonna have people who have um, different ways on how they're running the business, on how they run the business, and it has nothing to do with, really, sometimes people are doing it as a hobby or doing it part-time because they have another job or they have a family or they just like the little extra income that they're getting. You may say, I want $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month. So when you look at it, you can have competition, but majority of Americans don't want to be um, extremely, like, super successful and make all this money, which is fine. Success is not built on that. Success is built on your happiness. So someone's happiness might be different than yours. So ultimately, you have competition, right? 5 people in your market, right? You might be the one who's like, I'm trying to take this to the top. And those other 4 guys that just, they're running it kind of like a hobby. They do some marketing here and there. This, that, and the third. And, eventually maybe they might quit. Eventually. They might slow down. They got repeat customers. I see that a lot. People got their repeat customers. They stop doing marketing. They ain't did marketing 2-3 months. But they're making, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month every month. So, and that should tell you something too, that this business is awesome because you could just do this thing in your sleep, have all the time in the world, and make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 every month because you got repeat customers. So I would say that there's an influx of people coming into business, but it's not saturated because everybody doesn't want it as bad as you want it, right? So I wouldn't look at the business that way. I wouldn't even care. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say this is something that, you need to get into now. Like, I need to get into now before it's too late. I don't think it'll ever be too late. This thing's been going on for 20 plus years. So I don't think it's ever be too late to get into business. Like, for example, wholesaling. When wholesaling was hot, you would think that, there would be talks that things were changing in the market and they're going to stop you from wholesaling, and wholesaling saturated, and sellers are getting hundreds of postcards from all different wholesaling companies day in, day out. Man, they were saying that 10 years ago. People are still crushing it with wholesaling real estate. That's the crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was there for all of that. I used to go so hard with wholesaling. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to be, a wholesaler. That was everything for me. I loved the lifestyle and everything that I've seen people doing and making all this money every month, and I loved it. So I was into that. So I had my pulse on that industry, and you would hear all these crazy things. And then fast forward, now people are still going hard with that stuff. People are still making money. There's new wholesalers just coming out of the woodworks that just started making millions. So I mean, just in general business, there's not gonna be nothing that's really saturated. You know what I mean? It's gonna get popular eventually, and people are gonna jump into it. But not everybody. 90% of Americans don't want it as bad as you want it, and so you always keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, that's about this business being saturated. I have a course and mentorship included. My mentorship includes me. You have direct access to me, so I hold your hand, and as you're conducting this business, which is awesome because I help you get through the learning curve super fast. My course, super jam-packed, one-stop shop when it comes to this business. Obviously, we're using a CRM now as well. Groundbreaking, has everything you could think of, literally. Check it out. That link is below in the description. All right, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. I answer all comments. All right, peace.